Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, The Art of Persuasion. I'm Don, and today we are going to talk about Stoicism. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that has much to offer in terms of personal development. It teaches us that control over our lives lies in our own hands, and that we can find peace of mind regardless of external circumstances. The phrase, "Some things are within our control, others are not," is one of the most iconic statements of Stoicism, and its importance cannot be underestimated. This quote reminds us that as human beings, there are limitations to what we can control in our lives, and we must learn to accept and deal with these limitations in a healthy manner. Stoicism teaches us that life is uncertain, and we must learn to handle things we cannot control with serenity and balance. It is easy to become anxious and stressed about things that are beyond our control, such as the weather or the actions of others, but Stoicism reminds us that we should focus on the things we can control, such as our own thoughts and actions. This quote is one of the cornerstones of Stoicism, as it teaches us the importance of self-determination and personal responsibility. We must learn to control our own thoughts and actions and not allow external circumstances to affect our peace of mind. By doing so, we can live a more balanced and fulfilling life, regardless of what happens around us. Furthermore, the phrase, "Some things are within our control, others are not," reminds us that we should be humble and respect the power of nature and the universe. Stoicism teaches us to have a broader perspective and understand that we cannot control everything in our lives, and we should learn to accept things we cannot change. In summary, the phrase, "Some things are within our control, others are not," is one of the most striking statements of Stoicism and encapsulates the core principles of this philosophy. By accepting the limitations of our lives and focusing on what we can control, we can find peace of mind and live a more fulfilled life. The phrase, "There is no good or bad, only our opinion of it," is one of the most important in Stoicism, as it reminds us that our opinions and judgments about things have a great impact on how we live our lives. Often, we create our own difficulties because of our negative opinions and emotions, and Stoicism teaches us to change our perspective and deal with things more effectively. This quote teaches us to be more aware of our thoughts and judgments and recognize that our perception of a situation can often be distorted or influenced by negative emotions. By learning to recognize and challenge our own opinions and judgments, we can free ourselves from the influence of these thoughts and achieve a clearer and more objective view of things. Additionally, the phrase, "There is no good or bad, only our opinion of it," teaches us to be more flexible in relation to changes and challenges in our lives. By acknowledging that our opinions and judgments are just that, opinions and judgments, we can learn to deal with things in a more adaptable and resilient manner. This quote also teaches us the importance of personal responsibility and self-sufficiency. By recognizing that our opinions and judgments are our own responsibility and not something we can blame on others, we can learn to take ownership of our own lives and deal with things more effectively. In summary, the phrase, "There is no good or bad, only our opinion of it," is one of the most important in Stoicism and teaches us the importance of self-determination and personal responsibility. By shifting our perspective and challenging our own opinions and judgments, we can achieve a clearer and more objective view of things and deal with them in a more effective and adaptable manner. The phrase, "If you want to be free, act as such," is one of the most famous quotes of Stoicism and illustrates the importance of self-sufficiency in attaining true freedom. This quote reminds us that freedom is not something given to us, but rather something we need to earn through our own actions and choices. In Stoicism, freedom is seen as the ability to control our own thoughts and actions rather than being controlled by external factors. This means that we must learn to be self-sufficient and find inner peace amidst any situation. When we are self-sufficient, we can control our own lives and choose how to respond to any situation rather than being controlled by external circumstances. The phrase, "If you want to be free, act as such," reminds us that we need to start acting like free individuals even if we don't feel that way yet. This means taking responsibility for our own lives and acting in accordance with our values and principles, rather than blindly following the expectations of others or societal norms. By learning to be self-sufficient and acting as free individuals, we can find true freedom and inner peace in any situation. This doesn't mean that we shouldn't seek help or support from others when needed, but rather that we should learn to be independent and trust in our own abilities and resources to face life's challenges. In summary, the phrase, "If you want to be free, act as such," illustrates the importance of self-sufficiency and personal responsibility in Stoicism. When we are self-sufficient and act in accordance with our own values and principles, we can find true freedom and inner peace in any situation. Additionally, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living in the present and being present in the moment. One of the most memorable phrases regarding this is, "Do not let the future disturb you. You will reach it if you arrive." This quote reminds us that we often worry too much about the future and miss out on the opportunity to enjoy the present. Instead, we should focus our efforts on the present moment and trust that the future will unfold. Finally, Stoicism teaches us the importance of humility and virtue. A quote that illustrates this is, "No man is free who is not a master of himself." This quote reminds us that true freedom comes from the ability to control our own thoughts and actions, rather than being controlled by external factors. We must strive to be virtuous and moral individuals, constantly seeking self-improvement. One of the most important things to remember is that Stoicism is not a passive or resigned philosophy. On the contrary, it encourages us to be proactive and take responsibility for our lives. We should be proactive about what is within our control, while accepting with serenity what is beyond our control. Another important point is that Stoicism is not a philosophy that seeks to eliminate all human emotions and feelings. Instead, it teaches us to deal with these feelings in a healthy and productive manner. We should acknowledge our emotions, but not allow them to dominate us or negatively affect us. To apply Stoicism in our daily lives, we can start by reflecting on what is within our control and what is not. We should focus on our own actions and thoughts rather than worrying about external factors we cannot control. We can practice self-sufficiency, develop virtues and values that we consider important, and live in the present moment, enjoying each moment without worrying about the future. In summary, Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that offers valuable teachings for our personal development. By remembering that some things are within our control and others are not, learning to deal with our emotions and thoughts, being self-sufficient, living in the present, and being virtuous, we can achieve peace of mind and live in harmony regardless of external circumstances. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and that you can apply these teachings in your own daily life to become a more tranquil, resilient, and fulfilled person.